What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 6 of MovieFellas, a podcast where some millennials with little to no knowledge of film talk about movies, both classic and current. I'm your host, Adam Norris, and as always, my co-hosts, Haste and Matt, quote, thinks pineapple is an acceptable pizza topping, Rosenberg.
Correct. I hate pineapple on pizza. Love pineapple. Hate them on each other. Incorrect. Wrong.
That kind of reaction was exactly what I was hoping for.
Sacrilege.
So upset. Dude, listen, if Maui Wowie is a pizza, and what comes on that pizza is pineapple, then it is officially a topping.
You know what? Is there,
that's how I defend it.
Is there a doctrine, though? Is there like a trademarked company that officially licenses pizza toppings?
I mean, there's a pizza church in Rome called Father. I'm just kidding.
I thought you were being serious. Father of the Dough.
Where the stuffed crust Pope dictates all.
Can't even make it all the way through it.
Nope.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Oh gosh.
All right, Matt, let's talk about some news. You got anything you want to talk about?
Did you guys see the first stills from Thor Ragnarok?
No,
Yes, I saw.
Okay.
Oh,
Look at them right now, dude. They're pretty ballin'. Thor's
I
got
saw.
short hair. He's got no hammer and swords. What'd you see, Adam?
I saw like the front of a magazine. That's how it tipped me off, and I haven't
The
actually looked at the
Entertainment
stills
Weekly
yet.
one? Yeah.
Yeah, where it looked like it was the cover of like a teen pop band from Alt Press. But
Yeah, a little bit. Yep,
Hey,
kind
this
of.
looks like a standout to Matt's favorite movie ever, Gladiator.
It kind of does
it
look
is.
like it. Well, it's in a gladiatorial match. You've read Planet Hulk, haven't you, Haste?
Yes, of course. That's a stupid question to ask me.
Okay, whatever. All right. So you see.
okay, honestly, I'm confused because the first thing I saw was just a picture of Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston both wearing suits, and I was like, this doesn't seem like it's from the movie.
Well, I mean,
it
there
could
were
be.
some set photos, but this is like they officially released in Entertainment Weekly photos, and it's Valkyrie, who is being played by Tessa Thompson, and then Thor with short hair, sleeveless. He's got two swords that look like they're from John Carter. They're all glowy. And then it's got Hela, which is Cate Blanchett's character, which they've actually confirmed is going to be, Hela is also going to be considered as Death. So the woman that Thanos falls in love with. So
In Norse mythology, Helya is like the god
of death.
death.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's cool. I think it looks very interesting, like colorful, like not
Yeah.
like really really colorful. But I dig
Not
it.
with your standard Marvel grade of beige with blue,
Yeah,
with
like-
kind of like black in the background, and everyone just kind of wearing dark colors all the time.
Well, Thor:
Yeah.
The Dark World was actually a pretty dark movie throughout. That was mostly just black and white.
Yeah, and I know you turned me on to that one YouTuber who talks about one of the biggest problems with Marvel movies is they don't.
Its lack of soundtrack.
Yeah, well that, and they don't have good contrast in their colors. Like their colors are very flat, you know. And like when the guy was showing an example from Guardians, and he like did some like basic color adjustment and showed the same scene with like 5 minutes of color adjustment that he did, and it looked way better. Like it was just a very flat looking when you compared it. So maybe Taika Waititi, however you say his name, the Hunt for the Wilder People guy.
I'm not even gonna try.
Have you seen that, Adam? Hunt for Wilder People?
Seen what?
The Hunt for the Wilder People?
No,
Okay.
I have not.
I've heard it's phenomenal. So he's
You said The Hunt for Wilder People?
Hunt for the Wilder People. Yeah, it's like a comedy coming of age, I think.
Sounds interesting.
I'm not sure. I'm not going to look it up.
Yeah, that's
I
definitely
refuse.
sounds interesting.
Anyway, he's directing Thor Ragnarok, and it seems pretty good. Okay. All right. You guys ready for the next bit of news?
Yeah.
Reynolds Overby.
Ready as you'll ever be. Did you see the fan trailer that tricked about half of the world into actually thinking it was a real trailer for Star Wars Episode 8?
Nope.
Okay.
I'd seen a couple edits, but maybe not the one you're describing.
Nope,
Okay.
I did not see an original trailer that looked original.
Okay, I had like 4 or 5 people post this on their Facebook wall, and I was checking it out, and I'm like, oh, sweet. It's the actual trailer, and I was like freaking out and like just like preparing my body to watch this. I started watching it, and like halfway through, I was like, no, this is real. This is the real thing. And then the thing that turned me off to realizing it wasn't was the lightsaber looked completely off. But they kind of tried to trick people into thinking it was like this actual looking, Star Wars trailer, but it wasn't, and a lot of people fell for it, including yours truly. So that's something that happened. That's
They got you.
that happened. They did. They got me.
But I think probably what was it? The trailer that kind of got the most attention for me was the Deadpool 2,
Yeah.
or I guess the teaser for the second Deadpool.
What was it called? It's short.
I think it was
film
just a
or whatever.
teaser.
Oh, No Good Deed.
No Good Deed. Okay, yeah.
I think that was
That was
what
the
was
te-
at the
that was-
start of Logan.
Yeah.
That's right.
mhm.
Everyone thought it was going to be an after credits thing, but it was actually a it was like a pre-credits, I guess.
It was a anything.
It wasn't quite a preview, wasn't quite a...
Yeah, it was just like, oh,
Extra
here's a
scene.
little funny thing about what's going to happen in the future.
And, not to spoil too much, and by that I mean I'm going to spoil everything. Probably my favorite part was the fact that they didn't make it very, obvious, but you can infer that the person who was shot was Uncle Ben.
I didn't even think about that.
I hadn't
That's
thought of it.
hilarious.
No.
That's
Considering because he said he's like, I have a nephew. You can
Oh
listen
my
to what he's
gosh.
yelling in the background,
Well,
and
that
so you
explains
keep
what happens
thinking
to
you're
Uncle
like,
Ben in Homecoming.
exactly. That's the idea. Is he technically wasn't saved in time, so they were able to use that as kind of like
Oh,
a way to
gosh.
splice the
That is
storylines
an
together.
awful way to do it. To leave it
That's
to leave it in Deadpool's hands.
That's so
Oh,
funny.
that's
It's
awful.
It
hilarious.
was that, and the fact that everyone kept saying, at some point Deadpool's got to point out Stan Lee. He can't just interact with him. He has to make fun of him.
Zip
And
it,
so, of course-
Stanley.
Yeah, that was good. I'm very excited for the next one.
I liked how they had this Superman theme playing, and also you could see Logan was in theaters, and also it said Nathan Summers coming soon, which is Cable's name. There's just
Yep.
so much.
And there was
I
a poster for Firefly in the background.
Yep.
Yep,
That was
that's right.
hilarious.
They know
I
exactly
love
how to get the attention of the kind of demographic they expect to be interested in those movies.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Their team is really good.
Yeah,
They
without
do
a
a good
doubt.
job.
You got anything else, Matt?
One more thing.
Ooh, I also have
You
a piece
guys-
of news to add at the end.
Okay, sweet. This piece of news is really dumb, so I just thought I'd bring it up because it sounds like something I'm gonna hate.
I hate it already.
Bambi
go.
4, The Return of... No.
Oh, Matt, don't
Gosh,
tempt
back,
me like
back
that.
on that freaking subject again. Good lord.
I got so
Bye.
excited
Return of
right
Bambi
then.
Cage. No. There's a movie coming out called Geostorm, starring
Oh.
Gerard Butler, and it's
Okay.
a disaster action film.
Oh gosh.
And Dean Devlin is directing it.
There's no way that could possibly be
You
bland.
mean Duke Devlin from Yu-Gi-Oh?
That's happening.
Huh. Odd.
I'm like, oh, dude, this is totally like a Roland Emmerich film. I'm like, this has to be, but it's not. And then I looked up Dean Devlin, like what he's done. He's like Roland Emmerich's best friend, and works with him constantly, and worked on Independence Day, Godzilla, Resurgence, in every movie he's ever done with him. So I'm like, yep, this is gonna be the worst movie. The trailer is so just
Yeah,
oh gosh,
because
it's-
Independence Day Resurgence was hot garbage. I enjoyed Godzilla,
No.
but
You what?
Yeah, Godzilla was kind of okay. There were certain parts where I was like, okay, this needs to go ahead and
No, I'm not talking about
but-
2014 Godzilla. I'm talking about 1998 Godzilla with Matthew
oh,
Broderick.
no, that one was awful. The new
Yeah.
Godzilla was beast.
No, new Godzilla was Gareth Edwards, who did Rogue One and Monsters.
Okay, that's
So,
what I
yeah.
thought. Okay, I got
Yeah.
confused for a second.
No, I
Sorry.
I was really
Godzilla.
thrown off. You said Godzilla, I was like, wait.
No, Godzilla 98 Godzilla. Terrible
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick Godzilla. Real quick though, are you guys interested in seeing Kong?
I didn't. There was one before this, correct? Or am I going crazy?
There
King
was
Kong,
the
Peter Jackson did one
Peter
back
Jackson King's
in-
Kong back in
So there was a King
7
Kong.
or
Okay,
8.
so I have not seen that one, and if I'm being completely honest, I probably won't see this one.
Okay, it was
But-
great. I really enjoyed it.
It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Peter Jackson.
It was a
so
long time ago,
It can't
though.
be. It's at least entertaining, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard this one is kind of a lot like Rogue One, where it's like great, phenomenal action sequences, but the characters just they're there and they're
Meh.
not bad. They're just not
boring.
anything to. Yeah, they're boring. Yeah, exactly.
They're placeholders for stereotypes.
Or placeholders for a giant gorilla to smash their faces in.
This one's the funny one that has good jokes when the plot demands it.
John Goodman will play the giant gorilla character type he smashes everyone.
Oh god. We found out halfway through the movie that it's all genetic mutation, and he just magically, whenever he gets mad, he turns into a giant 10-story gorilla.
That'd be great.
Dude,
hey, listen though.
Go ahead.
John Goodman lost, actually. He looks a lot different now. He lost a good amount of weight because he's in that Boston Marathon bombing reenactment storytelling movie
Patriots?
Patriots Day. I saw that trailer for a movie I watched the other day, and I was just like, all right, well, it's Mark Wahlberg. What do you expect? And then, just
Peter
in a
Berg.
stroke of perfect irony, the next trailer was another Mark Wahlberg true story reenactment
Oh, gosh.
called...
What was it?
It was the one about the oil rig,
They're both Peter Berg movies.
like Deepwater Horizon or something
that's
like
what it
that.
is. I couldn't
Wow,
think of the
that
name.
was shot in the dark, but what a shock.
They're both Peter Berg movies, and he's done like 3 or 4 of those now. Apparently, because he did Lone Survivor, the true story.
Yes.
And he did that with Mark Wahlberg as well, which I really
Lone Survivor
enjoyed.
So
was pretty good.
essentially,
Yeah, Lone Survivor
he
wasn't bad.
is the director's version of Johnny Depp to Tim Burton.
Yeah,
Essentially, yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of directors like that. Like Christopher Nolan always uses Michael Caine. Like he's
True.
in like every single one of his movies.
Like Secondhand Lions.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know if
not
that
a
was
Christopher Nolan movie.
I know. I was just.
I actually love that movie.
That was a good movie.
Wait, is that the one where Michael Caine voices a lion, or?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
That's correct.
Exactly it.
Don't think anything else. No, that's the one
That's
with
what I thought.
Robert Duvall and Michael Caine, and they're like they used to be these eccentric like adventurers and stuff, and it's actually really enjoyable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Old
Anyway,
movie.
that's really all I got. What did you have to say for the news, Hasty Poo?
It's not really movie related, but something I'm super excited about is the final last, after like 10 to 15 years of it being away, the final season of Samurai Jack premieres this weekend on Toonami.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
hmm Yeah, they're finally
That's pretty
bringing
cool.
back. They're finally bringing it back, Samurai Jack, to finish the story, and
Yep.
it's a lot more mature this time around. I've already watched a couple of reviews of the first episode on YouTube that were spoiler free, and it's turning out to be a lot more mature show than the original,
Cool.
which I mean makes sense because we were all like anywhere from 5 to 10 when the show first came out.
Yeah, around that.
And
Yeah.
now we get to see its fulfillment as adults, so it's an adult-oriented show. Then again, it's only
Cool.
rated TV-14, so I don't think it's going to be too over the top, but
It won't have that PG kind of esque thing to it.
Yeah.
You know, like it'll be able to kind of be a little
Yep.
more
be a little
adult.
open and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel you. So the first couple reviews for Iron Fist came out, which it comes out in a couple
17th.
weeks. Yeah.
17th. Yep.
Apparently, it's horrendous. Like
Jessica Jones horrendous?
Jessica Jones was amazing.
Jessica Jones was horrendous.
Okay. All right. So, okay, that's fine. If you think that, that's fine. But I loved it. And, like, if we're going on just what critics say, Daredevil was critically acclaimed. Jessica Jones was critically acclaimed. Luke Cage was critically acclaimed. I have varying degrees. I love Daredevil the most. I like Jessica
Yeah,
Jones
Daredevil.
second. Yeah.
For me, it's Daredevil, Luke Cage, and then Jessica Jones.
Okay. I'm opposite with those. But
For me, it's any Netflix series besides those three. But that's another discussion.
You know what, Adam? You probably
Hashtag
like
Black Mirror.
like series of unfortunate events. No, I heard that's really good actually.
It is really good.
It is really good.
But apparently
It's not better, but it's good.
Right. Apparently it's really bad and just really boring.
That
So,
sucks.
That sucks because Iron Fist is a really interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he'll be better in Defenders. Okay. All right. Enough with the news. What do we got next?
Yeah. Let's talk about Logan.
Logan.
Have you seen it, Norris?
I have not, but I have talked with enough people who have seen it, and I read the official plot, and I'm a horrible person, but we can still talk about it because
You have the
ultimately,
Wikipedia
You
synopsis.
always spoil the movie for yourself. You have a really bad habit of doing that.
yeah, I do because, well,
It's so
I guess
easy to get the
if I'm on
plots
an
and story.
awkward soapbox, I prefer most of the time to already know what's going to happen so that I can spend my time during my first view paying attention to other elements of the story.
Dude, you're missing out on life, man.
I know.
You're
I'm a big
skipping the
jerk.
journey and you're just hitting the destination.
I am happy to say I did not do that for the next movie we're going to talk about, which is Arrival, but we'll get to that later.
See, and that's why you loved it so much, because he
well,
loved
yeah,
it. Listeners, he loved
at
it.
the same time, I did love it. I love both of these movies.
Okay.
Let me rephrase that. Based on what I know about this movie, but I haven't had the chance to see it, and you two had already seen it. So
Okay, so
let's talk about it.
so
Someone
full
describe what
spoilers,
happens.
Full
Yeah,
spoilers
full
for
spoiler
Logan.
alert, and
Get out of
probably
here. Go
Arrival
watch it. Don't
for
do
both.
don't do what Adam did, and that's not.
Yeah, I'm a big jerk.
Yeah, don't do that. All right. Haste, do you want to give synopsis, or do you want me to?
Oh gosh. Okay, so the movie starts out. It's year 2029. From all we can gather, the mutants are all but gone at this point, except for Logan, Professor Xavier, and the weird vampire dude who, prior to this movie, I'd never heard of because I'm not personally a huge X-Men fan.
And
at
there
least
may or may
in
not
terms
be
of
the
comics.
vampire dude. Are you talking about Calibus or something?
Yeah, Calibut
Yeah.
or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much the story of Logan having to escort the experiments of a mad, evil scientist who tried to rebirth the mutants in the form of these children to be super weapons into the modern world.
Mm-hmm. So he finds her under like dire circumstances, and someone offers him money, and he's a worn down Wolverine. His
Worn
healing
down is
factor
an
isn't-
understatement.
Yeah. I felt like every time he walked, I felt physical pain.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
he had a
like,
major limp in that movie.
Yeah, and it's like, so he's worn down, and he's working as like a limo driver, and he's taking care of Professor X, and then someone comes into his life, and he has to escort them to this place, and that's essentially, it's a road trip film. I was actually surprised that it was a road trip film.
It's a road trip buddy cop superhero movie,
That's kind of
Oh my.
what it is.
but it's really gritty.
Yeah, it is. Like Adam always says, like, this is not a movie for kids.
No.
I'd say if you're under like 16, to not watch this movie, because it is
it's
very violent.
Very violent.
And there's a lot of every other word.
Every
is
other
the
word
F-bomb.
is the
Yeah.
F-bomb. Yeah,
So,
really is.
all right. So, Adam, what did you think of the Wikipedia? No.
Oh, get out of here! Fight
how well
me!
was it worded?
Come fight me! All right, listen. I was busy.
Well,
I am an adult. I took care of
To
things.
give a quick, just like my personal review of the movie,
Yeah, go ahead.
it was definitely probably one of the best like done X-Men movies. Then again, it wasn't really much of an X-Men movie, to be honest. It was just a Wolverine movie, which is all we've really dealt with outside of the god-awful movies that I have not seen. The most recent, like Apocalypse, Days of Future Past. I stopped.
Whoa! Let me stop you there.
Days of Future Past was amazing.
Days of
stopped
Future
after
Past
X-Men
might be
3.
one of the best X-Men movies they've ever done, and they probably will ever do.
I
Now,
stopped
Apocalypse,
because I was
yeah,
over it.
it's
Okay.
kind of meh.
All right,
But-
okay. Here's how I see them. 1 and 2 are great, right?
Yeah.
Number 3 isn't very good. I don't think it's horrendous, but it's not very good. All right, so then what came next?
X-Men Origins
Origins.
Wolverine.
That wasn't even a
Ugh.
movie.
One of the
That
worst
was
movies
That
ever
was
made.
just scenes of Hugh Jackman shirtless.
Yeah.
Oh, what
But
a
the
deal.
funny thing is Hugh Jackman is great. Like, even in the crappiest
yeah.
movies, he does a great job.
Oh, yeah,
So
most
then
definitely.
what came after that? They rebooted it at First Class, which was excellent.
X-Men First Class
Very
was
good.
great. I forgot about that one.
And then Days of Future Past was
Future
the sequel
Past.
to that, which was amazing.
And then they did the Wolverine.
And we did
That's right. They
Wolverine.
continued the story of him in Japan.
Sorry,
that was
Wolverine
actually-
was
was
kinda
before
meh.
Days of Future Past. Yeah, I enjoyed that. James Mangold directed that one as well.
Yeah, it was
So-
alright.
And then Apocalypse, and now Logan.
Yep.
Okay, so what did you think of it? Was it good? Was it bad? What did you think of it?
Yep.
It was good. It was really good. I have just some continuation problems. Obviously, I haven't seen. There's a lot of stuff hinted at that tells us to a degree that Professor X did something that wiped out the mutants.
Well,
One of
wiped
his
out
like
some of the mutants anyway.
yeah, wiped out what was known as the East Coast or whatever coast the school for gifted children was at. We believe all those related mutants and everything are all gone.
Yeah. So, okay. So we have the story. You thought it was really good. That was your overall opinion. You think it's good. Okay. All right.
Sad ending. Very sad ending though.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was great. Performances were absolutely phenomenal. There was weird. One thing I thought was weird was how mouthy Professor X was. It almost seemed like he was no longer like this dignified character he used to be, but he was kind of going insane, so I can kind of forgive that,
Yeah, and you got to
like,
think about the fact that
Wikipedia article over here knows that they described Patrick Stewart's actor as, quote, senile. So
yeah,
I could definitely see that. It makes total sense with that idea in mind.
Yeah, and so everyone's it's a harrowing journey. It's these people who are sick and they're dying, and Wolverine's clearly his healing factor is dying, and he mentions it's because of the adamantium they put in my body.
Yeah, it's poisoning him essentially.
So the thing that makes him stronger is just really actually just killing him slowly. So he finds this girl X-23, and she has the same powers as him, and she's revealed to be a clone of his, which they refer to him as like his daughter. And he plans to take her to this safe haven because the Essex, is it the Essex Corporation?
No, or it's like the Transgen or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Is trying to take her back because they're trying to make like the perfect weapon. And it's revealed also that they ended up like weeding out mutants and they put like anti-mutant stuff in like food, and so that mutants weren't born anymore, and they wanted to control mutants being born. Okay. So, overall, what did you think of the characters? Who was your favorite in it, Haste?
I gotta give it to Wolverine. Just his. That's the Wolverine that everyone's always wanted to see in movies. The gritty, kill and talk later kind of Wolverine. If one thing I did kind of get annoyed with throughout the movie, which I get it's his character, but he was just too stubborn. I mean, that's Logan in a nutshell, but that was just
right. It was almost like, okay, it's not in your best interest anymore. You're just being a jerk, kind of at this point, you know.
Yeah, but after all he's been through, it makes sense. It really does.
Yeah, it does. It really does, and he's so worn out, and like the first time he opens in the beginning, he opens his claws. And like one's like stuck, and he has to like pull out the claw, and like he's getting like beat on by like 5 guys, and like in like the past X-Men films, he would have just taken them all out in like 2 seconds, like immediately. Yeah. So,
excuse me.
You're good. Use good, bruh. Use good. All right, direction. What do you think of the direction?
By like director or the way the movie went?
Just the direction of the film. How the director did like what he did.
I felt like it was a little long.
Well, I read the Wikipedia article at a pretty average pace, so I would say the pacing was pretty solid. But
you had a brisk ride right there, didn't
you? Yeah, it was nice. Just a few minutes. I said, you know what? I'm at the end of the story. It feels good to be here. And,
it was a 2-hour and 20-minute movie, which for a superhero movie is not too lengthy, but it's kind of long at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, some would say you should limit yourself to about 90 minutes realistically for any superhero film.
It's not your 3-hour Watchmen movie, but...
Hey, you watch your mouth,
Watchmen.
boy.
I have some personal...
I really like.
I have some personal opinions about Watchmen, but they're not very safe for the podcast, so I'll give them out after.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
See, I really enjoyed it. I thought the direction of the movie, they went exactly where they needed to go. I think the second act is where it got slow, and I think they could have cut out. I don't know. See, everything was so well done. It's just I don't know. I might not go back and watch it in 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
Because of the pace and because it's just a dreary film. That being said, it's a beautifully shot film, and the
yeah.
action is amazing. It's not.
Nothing looked fake in that movie.
No, not at all.
Nothing.
The girl Daphne Keane who plays X-23, she didn't look like a CGI Yoda like flipping around. Like she was like she used her. She was small, but like she used like almost like Black Widow-ish. Yeah, like acrobats to take people down, and like she just was. Man, it was brutal.
I just imagine acrobats taking down people in this movie. And I know you meant acrobatics, but I couldn't help but imagine like X-23 going, "Sick 'em, boys," and like these like flipping gymnasts come flying out of nowhere, like spin kicking them.
Oh gosh.
This one's coming in from the trapeze, and like
It just falls on somebody. Gosh. I guess okay. To kind of backpedal a little bit. There were other kids in the movie that had powers. Theirs kind of seemed a little like digital, which I mean they absolutely were. But outside of like that, like 2 or 3 minute like span at the end of the movie, nothing looked fake. Nothing, absolutely nothing, which is big for X-Men movies, because 9 times out of 10, at least in the older ones, are like, wow, all of this is digital, or in front of a green screen.
Yeah, the digitally de-aged Michael Stewart. What's his name? Patrick Stewart. Yeah, in X-Men 3 was horrendous. He looked like a plastic man.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, dude. Well, he did, and I mean, it's. I mean, I personally, critics have called it one of the best superhero films. I think it's definitely up in the upper echelon of superhero films. But me personally, just because I enjoy superhero films and I like them being superhero films, it was more of a Western kind of to me, than it was an actual superhero film.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense though with it being a Western to a degree, because like in the hotel they were watching a Western movie.
Right, and James Mangold is like, yeah, we based it off of this.
The Wikipedia article didn't mention that.
The Wikipedia article.
I've been so blind.
He's been.
All hail our Lord and Savior. Wikipedia article.
He's been. He's been hoodwinked.
Yep. So, I mean, I thought direction, overall characters were great. Characters were excellent. Everyone nailed it. I wouldn't be surprised if Hugh Jackman gets an Oscar nomination for this.
Yeah, definitely.
And I thought the direction overall, and the way it ended, again, spoilers if you're still listening, Wolverine dies. He dies. And so does Professor X.
Sad.
Yep. Also, X-24, that was weird. X-24 is a copy of Wolverine. And so he plays a good young Wolverine and a good old Wolverine, doesn't he?
While they're fighting each other.
Yep, exactly. It's crazy.
Oh, the Western movie that they showed throughout the film, the one they based it off of, is called Shane.
Shane. Okay, that's right. Okay, cool.
Never heard of it before, but
cool.
So,
cinematography, Haste, what'd you think of it?
Beautiful movie.
Absolutely.
There wasn't really a whole lot of talking. If it was mostly language.
Yep.
Which is not something I'm going to sit here and gripe about, because I mean, that's never really been something that's bugged me in movies.
Right.
Unless it's like words I'm not used to hearing, then I'm like, what is going on? But yeah. Other than there not being a lot of dialogue, other than just bad words, I mean.
Right. I think they did a lot of the show don't tell. And I think they showed that a lot. And I think in the ad campaign, I was assuming it was going to be almost post-apocalyptic, but it was just a world where he was just.
It seemed like life had gone on.
He was in like Texas. Yeah, life had just gone on. It wasn't anything like crazy post-apocalyptic. It was.
The only thing different that I noticed was the giant combines in the field during that one point, and the trucks drove themselves.
Yeah. That was
the semis drove themselves.
No, it was the acrobats.
It was
you just couldn't see them.
It was the fighting acrobats. That was the biggest part.
They were gladiating around the field.
Yes, the acrobat. Oh man. Oh, okay.
Well, you're out of control.
I thought the cinematography was great, and I thought that Mangold did a good job at just establishing that kind of gritty feel. It wasn't like a pretty and sleek world,
No. That was a very bleak and sad world.
Yeah, there may have been parts of the world, but he was in like Texas, which is a dusty place, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So overall, anything else to say on it?
No, go see it. It's a great movie.
Let's give that sucker a score. Someone, Matt, what would you say out of 10?
I say 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
I thought it was excellent. It was an amazing movie. I'm surprised they had the guts to kill him off. And the way, in a worse movie, the way it ends is they put the kids who he's helping escape, put a cross in front of his grave, and he's killed by the evil version of him, X-24, who then X-23 shoots with an adamantium bullet, so she's able to kill him. But they put a cross on his grave, and then before they leave,
she turns
X-23
around,
picks up the cross and turns it on its side to make it like an X. And in a worse movie, that would have been the stupidest thing in the world, you know? In like a super cheesy movie, that would have been so dull and stupid. But in this movie, man, I was like crying. I was like, Wolverine, I miss you.
That's the last X-Men right there.
So it was just. And that's what he wanted. He was carrying around that adamantium bullet because he's like, I'm done. I've been through so much. Like, I'm just done with this. Like, I'm ready to die. And so he kind of got what he wanted, and he ended up saving kids to kind of be their own mutants and move on from there. So,
yep,
9 out of 10.
I'd say 9 out of 10 as well. Go see it. Great movie.
Awesome.
All right.
Ages.
Awesome.
Well, let's move on to our next film. It certainly is not a recent film, but it's something that we all agreed is worth talking about. And that is the movie Arrival, starring Amy Adams, Forrest Whitaker. Please stop.
Arrival.
Starring Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, and Forrest Whitaker. Which, honestly, if I could take myself back in time, wink, wink, and experience that movie in 2016, it probably would have nearly clinched my number one movie of the year.
Wow.
Yeah. Definitely would have. I agree.
But sadly, I didn't watch it until
Best
this
Picture.
year, so I guess in a technical sense, it couldn't be, but because it came out in 2016, it probably is my favorite movie of the year. And I guess for a synopsis, I found this one, which I thought was pretty accurate. Aliens have landed on Earth in 12 different locations. Linguist Louise Banks joins a U.S. Army team at one of the locations in Montana. Her job is to try to learn the aliens' language and enable communication between them. Through regular meetings with two of the aliens, she begins to compile a record of the aliens' quote, language, a series of drawn symbols. The important questions are they friend or foe? And other nations with alien landings are starting to view them as a threat, making it a race against time as war with the aliens could erupt at any moment.
Perfect.
And I guess, spoiler warning, once again, no one is safe.
From here on forward, if you haven't seen it, good luck.
Yeah, what makes, and I think we all agree, what really took this movie to the next level was understanding the ultimate twist in the film, which if you were watching it either now or you have seen it, you know that as you experience the main character Louise's background, as, you know, having this daughter who had died at a very young age, and, you know, a husband that you don't see throughout most of the film up until about the last 15 or 20 minutes, you believe, and rightfully so, that these are flashbacks. These are establishing her character in the story, when ultimately you learn that the aliens have come not for war and not for anything other than simply bestowing the gift of understanding time the way the aliens do. And what we learn, and what we all are shocked to discover, is these were not flashbacks. These were actually visions of the future Louise was having the entire film. And even she did not quite understand why it was happening. And for me, as soon as I realized that, my brain pretty much exploded, and I couldn't believe what I was experiencing. And honestly, the more and more I thought back to the way that twisted, and then you think about the dialogue in these flashbacks and in these stories, you're like, oh my goodness, everything is so important. Everything is connected. Everything had a purpose. Even the conversation Louise had with her mom over the phone at the beginning of the film, when her mom says, how are you? And she says, same old, same old. And you're like, Oh my goodness, she's referencing the death of her child like it's no big deal. Like, oh, just childless over here. It's just kind of sad today. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
How could she even think of that? But then you realize, oh,
None of it's
she
happened.
Yeah, none of it's happened.
Well,
it's just, so
they
good.
start to they start to realize it all happens. The alien language allows them to view time.
It's just kind of
perceive time like Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Like all
they don't
at once.
exist in the present, they don't exist in the future, and they do not exist in the past. They just simply view time as an extra tool for communication and for seeing reality. So in the way that we see water as a liquid, they see time as a language, which is super weird. And honestly, it's pretty hard to wrap. I mean, for me, I'm probably speaking for myself, but at first I had a hard time understanding what she meant when they said that it was non-linear. And I thought it was just everything happens, you know how it's going to happen next, but really it's just anything goes. Mm-hmm. It's all just kind of present, which was
It's kind of like reverse Murphy's Law, where things just are, not this causes this. It's just this.
That's a good way to describe it. I like that, reverse Murphy's Law.
And
anything that can't happen has already happened.
And it's revealed, that's weird. I never thought of it that way.
That honestly just popped in my head. I was like, man, this is a really good idea. I should share it.
Thank you. That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think... Well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
First. Well, no, I insist.
Okay. Whatever,
Jinx.
I'll go. Jinx. You Minnesota. Okay, it's revealed that they come, and she's finally understanding their language fully, because they're about to blow them out of the sky. It's revealed that the reason the aliens are there is because they came to give humans the gift of their language, because they're going to need the humans' help in 3,000 years.
Which is
Hello,
like,
sequel.
What?
Hello, sequel in the year 5,000 something.
Hello, every way they could have done it better than Resurgence.
Oh gosh.
You can't
And pretty much
compare the two films.
any sci-fi alien film to come out in probably the last 5-10 years. They just
listen, all right, Interstellar
they
is a
just
great movie.
got it right.
We've already established Interstellar is a great movie.
It is a great movie, but
I still like Interstellar more than this. I liked it a lot.
Better.
Okay, so let's go around. Let's go around and give the. Okay, so let's see. Where's our? We have a format for this, and I'm looking. Here it is. Okay, story. All right. We already went through the story, didn't we?
Yep.
Characters. What'd you guys think of the actors?
I thought outside of Louise, the rest were not as intensely developed, but I think that was a good thing, because ultimately the story was focused on her story.
There was no one else's story really but hers.
But hers, exactly.
Yeah. Well, also, Jeremy Renner's character was pretty big, but more in like a, this is what happens kind of thing. Not really not really a like plot driver, but it's more explains just what happens in the future, I guess.
And I feel like he could have been played by anyone, almost.
Oh, he really could have.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if anything, though, it wouldn't... I feel like the characters, the way they were written, it enhances the story to another level when you watch it again. Mm-hmm. And you can pay closer attention to what they say and know that what they're saying is ironically like a futuristic prophecy kind of thing. Like it's prophetic, kind of.
Yeah,
and it's extra cool that way. That was when I watched it again, like the next day. I was like, "Oh, okay, this is neat." They don't really know what they're saying, but we know, why it's so important.
It's like, no, stop saying these things. You don't know what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Setting. What did you guys think of where it was located? Like, what was it? They landed in Montana. Or Kansas? Montana.
It was perfect.
Oh, that
was beautiful.
That scenery was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep. And considering that it would make more sense for aliens to land in places that are uninhabited and just kind of to themselves.
Which that's
nice
really
line
like
of logic.
That's a big like alien trope. They always land where like there's no one. Like all alien movies, like I don't know.
Well,
I'm trying to think.
a lot of them land in like big cities.
You think of like alien abductions. That is true. Alien abduction stories, and you hear like, oh, they were in like Kansas and
a cornfield.
Yeah, cornfield. Some random cornfield even crops.
Signs.
Another great shout out to M. Night Shyamalan, who sponsors the podcast.
That's right.
Shout out to
Every
our
time
sponsor
we
this
say
week.
his name, he sends us 1 penny to my PayPal.
Oh man.
Just kidding. He does not sponsor this podcast. Don't send him emails questioning
Yeah, do
what
not
we're
send.
saying.
Yeah, no, do not send us emails. But we'll get to that later.
I mean, I'll gladly talk with M. Night Shyamalan personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, why? Why do you do what you do, good sir? I want to understand.
Why are you the way that you are?
Why are you the way that you are?
Every time I try to make something fun, you try to make it not that way.
Thank you, Michael Scott.
You're welcome. Okay, direction. What you guys think of Denis? I can never say this. Villeneuve.
Villeneuve?
It's
Sounds about like that.
Villeneuve.
It's Villeneuve.
Okay, Villeneuve. Okay. What did you guys think of Denis Villeneuve?
He knew exactly how to write and direct the characters in a way that it reinvigorated a sense of urgency or energy in a story that technically in a lot of places should have been boring.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That movie,
Yep.
yeah, not a lot went on in that movie, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of it was just kind of just
implied.
small conversations, seeing something happening in front of you, but especially towards the middle where you can kind of watch her sleep deprivation, Louise's like lack of sleep, playing into her conversations and dealing with people and reaching the point where she's, she has this dream within a dream that says, I'm dreaming in their own language. And then she like looks at the alien and goes, well, I think I'm fit to do this job. And it's like, just like in the corner. That terrified me. I had no idea that was coming. That was.
And that's why she's like the one who starts to perceive time the way they do is because she's
this
the
connection
closest to their language. Yeah. And she's the one who's understanding it. Yeah. So.
So good.
In terms of direction, just something to throw in there. Something okay, so spoilers ahead. So we know that her character dies. We find out who the father is at the end of the movie. But there was one really big hint that gave away who the father was, who's going to be Jeremy Renner's character. Which is when she was asking her mom for help with her homework.
Like,
she was like, it's science. I was like, go ask your father. And I was like, oh, it's Jeremy Renner's character.
No.
Yeah.
But they haven't met yet.
Yeah, I was
How
like,
is
hold
this possible?
the phone.
Wait, does Amy Adams' character die at the end?
No.
No. Oh, you're talking about the daughter. Okay.
Yeah,
the daughter.
All right. Okay. I was like, wait, what? Did I miss something?
No, solely the daughter.
What?
Yeah, the part where she goes in the spaceship and they say, you did a great job, good and faithful servant, and then they just vaporize her right there.
Okay, this
that's how the
isn't
movie
knowing
ended.
with
That's not what I
Sorry,
thought.
Nicolas Cage.
No. Don't this is a good movie talk right now. We're talking about good movies, not bad
Nicolas Cage
ones.
is a national
Good ones.
treasure.
Oh man.
Get it?
Okay.
Nicolas Cage is a national treasure.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Haha, Haste. Haha.
All right, but
Time and
in
space.
summation, what kind of score would we give this movie? Is this another 9 or a 10 out of 10?
I'd give it an
Okay.
8.5.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I liked it a lot. That being said, it's kind of like Logan. It's
Not a happy movie.
no. Well, it actually ends relatively well. It's just it's
It's more conclusive than it is happy or sad.
you have
Yeah.
to kind of
Yeah.
sit down and it's one of those movies where it's not action packed and not even in like a non-actiony way. There's just like Adam said, there are sequences that happen and Villeneuve does a great job at kind of making those congruent and work together. It's just not a movie I'm like, I need to go back to this right now. And I think it's different it's probably Adam, I know you're like you had to watch it like right away afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like the next day I just woke up and rewatched it and I was like, yep, this is a next level kind of film. But
I feel like if I had seen it last year, it would have been my movie of the year, without a doubt.
Same.
Okay.
I mean, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. It's probably...
Oh, wow.
I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
You've heard it here first. This is our first 10 out of 10 in the entire podcast.
And as soon as you finish watching that, go watch Nocturnal Animals with Amy Adams and Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's another great ensemble cast, and you can re-experience your love for her again.
There you go.
And my love for Jake Gyllenhaal thanks to Nightcrawler. Oh, so good.
Still haven't seen it.
Go
what,
watch it.
Matt? You haven't seen...
I know.
It's a great movie.
Also, I gave Lego Batman a 10 out of 10, but I guess we didn't really...
Oh, I saw Lego Batman. Great movie.
review that. Yeah, it was phenomenal. I
We'll
loved
get
it.
to that.
It more or less made fun of like everything Batman that's ever been done,
Oh yeah,
which is
I love
great.
how he's like, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." I'm like, "Oh, 1989 Batman. I love it."
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
a lot of
cool.
reference to old Batman material, which is great.
10 out of 10. Wow, Adam, that is the
Yeah.
highest of praise.
That's right. That
highest
is right.
Of praise.
That's the Dundee Award right there for movies.
That's a Dundee.
The Dundee Award.
We'll reference everything in office terms
For
in
best
terms of how good it
movie.
is. It's not quite as good as the smoke alarm episode, but
I'd say it's. I'd say when the aliens came, it was like at threat level midnight. So,
Oh, gosh.
Okay,
jeez.
what's next,
We're done.
guys?
let's talk about what we've watched this week.
Oh, so that
Hey,
means it's time for What You Watching, Mate. Actually, I'll go
What
last.
You Watching, Mate?
I'll go last because I have like the most to talk about.
Okay.
All right. Well, I have
let you guys go
nothing,
first.
so I'm really boring. So we'll just skip me this week.
Which Wikipedia articles you read?
Oh, get out of here! I'm
What
actually
movies
gonna
are you spoiling
I'm
the
actually gonna
movie?
step away for just a second. So if
Okay.
you think I'm dead, I'm not dead. I'm just walking downstairs real quick. You guys have fun talking about things
All
that
right.
matter.
All right,
Okay,
Matt,
all
go
right,
ahead.
so
What are you watching?
What
mate?
I watching, mate, is I watched Logan, which again, 9 out of 10, great movie. I watched Arrival, good movie, 8 out of 10. I watched a lot of Friends, but that's not what we talk about on here. Something I actually rewatched was Superman Returns, which is
Really?
Bryan Singer, who directed a lot of X-Men films. He actually stepped away from X-Men franchise to direct Superman Returns, and no one watched it, so they didn't capitalize on it, and that's why Man of Steel was made. I remember it being not very good, and I saw it when I was like 13, and I rewatched it, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. It's definitely like the old Superman films, like they very consciously, because it's supposed to be a sequel to the second Superman film, just ignoring Superman 3 and Superman 4, Quest for Peace, the Christopher Reeve films. So it's like the theme's the same, the title's the same, even like the laser vision, they make it like the same, even though we have like new special effects. It was made in 2006 with Brandon Routh, who now plays the Atom on Arrow. But he was a good Superman. I thought he was great. There wasn't much action, and that's what I think most people complained about. The most action-y thing he really did was pick up a save a plane, and that was actually pretty cool. That's my main complaint. It's the length and the lack of action, but the characters are great, and the effects are great for 2006. There is one point where it zooms in really close on a fully CGI Superman, and it's just like, that's not, it looks like Neo from The Matrix Reloaded, so it's not.
It's like wait, why is this happening? This should not be the view I'm getting right now. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. And since Adams abandoned everyone,
We're talking about that Code
Adam's
Lyoko
a loser.
reboot,
Oh,
right?
there he is. Code
dude,
Lyoko.
Code
I
Lyoko
love
was a
Code
great
Lyoko.
show.
I love Code Lyoko. It was my
that
favorite
show
show
was
when
so
I was
good.
younger.
I knew I was gonna get some nostalgia
That was
points for
great.
that one.
That show had like
Oh,
all
man.
my like cartoon crushes in it because that show was.
So did I.
Hey, get
They're
out of my
trying
head,
Oh,
to
you
you
work-
guys are so sad. Come on now.
all my waifus in the world were on
All
that
of your
show.
you're just all about the Ailetas.
I'm a giant weeb now. For those of you that don't
Aelita
know.
was like hottie. Total
Okay,
hottie.
please stop.
Dude.
I don't understand you. I don't. This is where I draw the line.
Hey, you know what you did? You set this up. So
I did set this up. I did because I did watch an episode of it the other day just for funs. For funs.
Oh, I went
And-
back. Netflix has like the first 2 seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yep.
and let me tell
Okay.
you, they break all the rules in that show.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Like every
none of
5 seconds.
None of what the cards like actually are in real life is what like the cards are in the cartoon. Just gonna
They'll
put it
play
out there.
cards out of sequence. They'll play cards out of turn. They'll just play
Card
whatever
games
the
on
plot demands.
motorcycles.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you guys know there was a sequel to Code Lyoko called Code Lyoko: Evolution,
Yep.
No.
and it premiered on December 19th,
It,
2012?
it didn't do so hot.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah.
Blends live action with CGI. Then
Oh,
that's-
gross.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yep.
In mixing in
That's
live
what I'm
action.
saying, dude.
Please don't.
Ew.
Don't ruin the
Code
source
Lyoko
material.
rocked. I love Code Lyoko. So
They ended it definitely before it could have gotten worse, because it definitely started dive bombing in like season 3 or 4.
Well, they can only beat us over the head with the same villain for ever.
Yep.
Yeah, let it know. Yeah, ended it at that point.
When I was a kid, actually, I thought the main villain, which is Xana, right? Xana or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, I actually got that confused with the title of a website called Zanga. And I used to have a Zanga, but I referenced it as a Xana apparently for a very long time. And my friends would be like, "I've never heard of that. How do you spell it?" And I'd spell it. They're like, "You're saying it so wrong." And I'm like, "Well, that's how I remember it. So fight me." But
that's
Good
amazing.
1v1 me, mate.
that's right.
1v1. Me, mate.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, who's next?
I guess
Well,
it's my turn.
Yeah, I'll say I got nothing. I'm bored.
To talk for like an hour. Okay, I saw Cure for Wellness a couple weeks ago.
How was it?
I expected so much more. I really did.
That's
Because
what
all
I
the
kept
trailers
hearing.
made it look like such a interesting, intriguing movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of those movies where once you figure out the plot, because it kind of beats you over the head with it with clues, you're like, okay, I know how this is going to end. And then it just gets really boring from here on out. And it was a very long movie. I think it was 2 to 2.5 hours, which isn't, again, not long for a movie. But when a movie kind of drags on like that and kind of beats you over the head with the major plot reveals before the plot reveals happen, it's just wow, this is kind of wasting my time at this point.
Right.
But it was an alright movie. I'd give it maybe a 6. Just for some of the visual effects were great.
What I kept hearing was it wasn't really meant. It's not perfect. It's not good for a theater release, but if it's a good red box kind of movie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That's what I kept hearing from friends.
Definitely not a kids movie in any way, shape, or form. There's a lot of nudity, a lot of old people naked, which was
great.
Never mind. I'm just. It was weird.
Yep.
There was a little bit of sex reference here and there. But yeah, definitely. It wasn't really disturbing. There was maybe one scene of torture, but it wasn't really oh, hey, this movie's just making me sit here and queeze
So it's certainly not a family-friendly film.
Oh no, rated R.
Put that
rated
staple
R
on it.
And if you ever pay attention to the little squares that say why it's rated, it is what it is. That's actually a pretty lengthy square.
Lengthy square.
It's like the Grand Theft Auto length of movies.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, that's a lot of reasons to be
That's
rated
funny.
Gosh, what else have I seen? Okay, bear with me on this one, folks, because I'm gonna put myself out there a little bit. I saw The Shack on Sunday. With my significant other.
Well, here we go.
Okay. This is going to sound wrong.
Go ahead.
It's the overarching theme is great. It's you're not God. Stop trying to be God. Don't pretend like you can do what God can do, which is great.
Yeah.
But then from here on out, the way it represents God, how it represents the Trinity, both Jesus and the Holy Spirit and God himself, I get it. It's from this man's psyche, and it's how he's dealing with the loss of his daughter. Spoiler, his daughter's taken, we assumed, raped and murdered by a pedophile of some sort.
Right.
But just how it portrays everything outside of that overarching lesson is just everything wrong with theology.
Yeah. Well, I've heard it's gotten trashed by reviewers, which every Christian movie gets trashed by reviewers, so
yeah, without a doubt.
Whatever. Yeah, but so I've heard there are good elements. There are positive elements but overall it's just not very good.
Well, also the book, from what Christian memes made something about it the other day, and from the looks of the comments, it's just heresy galore, which I didn't really pay too much attention to, but a lot of people and just a lot of reviewers, just what I read, Christian reviewers were all yeah, this movie's pretty heretical, but depends on where you're coming from in your walk with faith and stuff like that. I don't know.
Okay, that's interesting.
Oh gosh, and then Logan today. Not movie related, but I have been watching Yu-Gi-Oh on Netflix. Like I said, it breaks all the rules of the card game, which I loved growing up. Oh gosh, what else? I'm planning to see the Great Wall because my dad wants to see it. So I was like,
Okay.
yeah, I'll tag along with you. Because
The Great Wall.
Yeah, I'll go see
Matt
movies
Damon.
with my dad if he wants to see them. But
There
it
you go.
looks fairly interesting. So I'll have something for that next time we hang out and chat.
Cool.
And I'll actually try to be useful next week and watch more things so I can be. I will just be a walking Wikipedia article.
You know what you should do, Adam? Just refuse to ever see a movie ever again.
Oh, get out of here!
Only read the Wikipedia articles.
Wikipedia articles, please.
And then start your own. You should start your own review channel. That's just Wikipedia article review.
Just
actually, that would be a fun game at some point to play where I'm given the title of a movie, but I have to describe it knowing nothing about it.
That would be amazing. We should do that next time.
Yeah,
we'll do that next time. That'll be fun.
We'll do that next time.
We'll call it the Walking Wikipedia segment.
Kind of like The Walking Dead,
Yes.
but The Walking Wikipedia.
Yes. Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome. All right. Are we closing out?
Think so, bud.
I don't have anything
All right.
else.
Okay, cool. Well, Adam, you want to say thanks real quick?
Yeah, thanks for listening. Whatever. No, seriously, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been an exciting week, and can't wait to watch some more stuff and make fun of movies. Send us dank memes at our Gmail.
Still waiting. Have we gotten any dank memes yet?
We haven't got any.
We have not gotten any dank memes. Also, we didn't really post. We posted it on YouTube, but we didn't get it on iTunes the last episode. So, we'll work on getting all those on. We'll try and be more proactive about making sure everything's up by Thursday.
Yeah.
Because we usually do the podcast on a Wednesday, so we'll try and be proactive about having it up on YouTube and SoundCloud and or iTunes or wherever.
Expect it around Fridays, pretty much.
Yeah.
If you got
expect it around
episode.
there. If you want to contact the show, you can find us on Facebook at MovieFellas Podcast, on Twitter at MovieFellas Pod, and you can contact us through Gmail at MovieFellasPod@gmail.com. Like Adam said, send some dank memes.
Preferably what incarnation?
Still waiting on dank memes.
The dankiest. That was a weird word.
Yeah, don't do that again. Don't dank and drive. Now.
All right, I'm going to go and close this out. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Gladiated
Bye, love
up.
you.